Hey guys, so one question we get asked a lot is how long will it take to create a habit? That's a really difficult question to answer. It's like how long is a piece of string? You may have seen things that state that if you keep going for 28 days, you're 5 times more likely to carry on. And actually, you're infinitely more likely to carry on than if you stopped along the way. You might see it takes 56 days to create a new habit. And ultimately, there's no right or wrong answer. Sometimes it's down more to repetitions than to a specific amount of time, because if the habit is something you're looking to do once a month, 28 days probably isn't enough time to form that habit. Sometimes, based on past experiences, the way your head's seeing it, your thoughts around it, it might take months and months and months. But sometimes it can happen in an instant. Sometimes you can just make a decision to do things a different way and then just do it going forward. So I've got an example for you from this morning. We have a garden out back and then a back gate which opens onto our carport and then onto a fairly busy road. And I lock that gate most of the time. Not all of the time though, because sometimes I think I'm back out again in a couple of minutes, or I know someone else is coming in after me. And Alex, my wife, always locks it. Even if she's literally popping out for a couple of seconds, she'll unlock, step through, lock, and then unlock again on the way back in. And sometimes, I wouldn't say that annoys me, but sometimes I'll be following her in the car after her. She knows I'm getting there 30 seconds later. And I'm like, oh, the keys out now to unlock the thing, and I've got my hands full and what have you. But what I'm going to do with that door changed in an instant this morning when I looked out back, and earlier on, about 6 a.m. when I let the dog out, that gate was definitely closed, 100%. When I looked out about 10 minutes ago, because she'd gone back out again a second time and was yapping away, and I wanted to stop her to, maybe the neighbours are still asleep, the gate was open. So somehow that gate had come open. I don't know if someone had tried the door. I don't know if actually it hadn't fully shut and her pushing up against it or something and allowed it to come open. But she was barking at the open door. And if she'd have gone through it, she'd have quickly been out on the road, and realistically, she would have been run over. So in an instant, I've now changed my opinion on locking that gate. And I know going forward, my new habit will be to lock it every single time, even if I'm just stepping out for a short amount of time, because if it's locked, there's zero chance of it opening outside of Alex, my wife, opening it and therefore being aware of where the dog is. And there's in theory zero chance of the dog getting run over. And we can do the same with lots of things. We can just make a decision. We don't need even to be almost shocked and scared into it. We can just decide this is what I'm going to do going forward. And we can just do it. It might feel a little bit forced to start with. We might have to kind of make ourselves remember. We might have to put systems in place to remind ourselves so that we don't forget. But essentially that habit is created instantly. It's not going to take me 28 days to start locking that door. I'm going to do it next time and the time after. It's not going to take me 56 days. It's not going to take me X amount of reps. I'm just going to do it because I've made that decision. So what's your equivalent? What's your thing that you can just decide now that you're going to do? Maybe not every single time, but maybe a certain number of times per week, maybe in certain situations, maybe on average. But you don't need to wait for that habit to be created, because if you are, you're almost allowing other options along the way. Post below, comment, let me know what's your thing you've just decided now that you're going to do, and it's going to happen.